Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson. Senator, great to see you this morning. So from securing the border, cutting waste, prioritizing common sense, more than 100 executive orders, President Trump has accomplished a whole lot in his first 2 months. What do you make of what we're already seeing from this administration?
Well, good morning. I think many Americans like myself are very pleased that President Trump is acting boldly, decisively, and really fulfilling the promises he made to the American public. You mentioned them. He secured the border in lightning speed. I'm actually amazed at how quickly he was able to shut that thing down. He's using Elon Musk and the Doge effort to expose all the waste, fraud, and abuse that the American public has always suspected has been. That's how their tax dollars have been misused, and so they want it exposed. They want it ended. So he's fulfilling those promises. The fact that he's ending wokeness throughout the federal government agencies. The American public, they want equal opportunity. They want to treat people with compassion. They want to treat people equally, but that's not what DEI does. And they certainly want to protect our girls from boys and men competing against them in their sports and invading their private places like locker rooms and bathrooms and showers. So President Trump is just doing enacting all the popular things that he ran on that got him elected.
So I want to pivot to Congress, to the House and Senate, still trying to come to terms on an agreement for a budget bill. President Trump originally requested one big, beautiful bill. I know you and others in the Senate believe a multi-step process would be more beneficial and get things accomplished a lot faster. Tell me more about that and your vision for this.
Well, if we would have taken a multi-step approach, President Trump already would have his border funding. We probably would have plussed up defense. We could have just extended the current tax code and taken an automatic tax cut or tax increase scheduled for 2026 off the table. Then we could start working on what's going to be a very difficult bill to put together. The big, beautiful bill is also a really big, complex one. So, I'm not sure that's still going to be possible. I would suggest President Trump change course and embrace what I would suggest a three-step process there. But right now the big stumbling point is I appreciate the difficult nature of the House, but what they're suggesting in their budget resolution in terms of spending levels is way too high. We have to return to a reasonable pre-pandemic baseline of spending. I've presented a number of options. Lindsey Graham, our budget chair, picked one of my options using President Trump's own budget for 2025. Somewhere between $5.5 and $6.5 trillion as compared to the $7.3 trillion of spending today. And by the way, you can achieve those numbers without touching Social Security, Medicare, or even Medicaid. You could hit it $6.5 trillion by excluding those programs from just taking 2019 spending, increasing it based on population growth and inflation. That puts you at $6.5 trillion. That saves $700 billion a year, $7 trillion. And the House budget resolution is only calling for $1.5 trillion over 10 years. So it's completely inadequate. They just completely botched that. I hate to say it, but they completely botched that. I think we need to rethink this. I was in the White House with the president 2 weeks ago. He loved the concept of returning to a pre-pandemic baseline using his total outlays from 2019 and literally bringing spending down by at least $700 billion. I mean, why don't we embrace that? So that's where we're kind of digging our heels in the Senate from that standpoint. We'll see what the president, Leader Thune, and Speaker Johnson do in response to our digging our heels in.
So I know you just said you hope that the president changes course. You know the president well. Do you think he will? You said he's open to these discussions, and you met with him last week as well.
Well, again, if you can do one big, beautiful bill, but bring down spending to a pre-pandemic level, we'll see. Again, the House budget resolution does not do it. And the Speaker kind of laid down the gauntlet saying, the Senate's got to accept our resolution, move forward on that. That's not going to happen. It's simply not going to happen. And the sooner the Speaker and the President and Leader Thune understand that, I think Leader Thune totally understands that. We had a long discussion last night after the votes. The President has to come to terms with that reality as well. And again, the President's doing a fabulous job. I mean, you're not going to break up the deep state if you continue to fund it at Biden's levels. I don't think anybody that voted for Trump expected that we would continue spending at President Biden's levels, but that's by and large what the House budget resolution does. It's completely unacceptable to the Senate.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.